Today's February 12th, 2015, Charles Darwin's birthday, and you can hear some water behind there. That's the grotto, and we're down in the Grotto Ravine of Shoal Sanctuary, northwest of Defuniak Springs in the panhandle of Florida. This is an amazing place. Most of Florida is just, sand and shells, but here we actually meet sandstone. So we have quite a grotto ravine here. I'll show some pictures in a moment about that. But what occurred to me visiting here was that this could be the last stand of Torreya taxifolia. Historically, the botanists have never seen it here, possibly was never able to get here from the Peak Glacial Refuge along the Apalachicola east of here, Apalachicola River, Torreya State Park. But this is the best habitat I've seen. It should stay cool from the grotto, certainly moist, and along the edges of the ravine here, the sandstone is dripping spring, so it can stay really nice and moist here. I have 18 pink ribbons that I planted earlier this afternoon. Put the ribbons where I think 18 seeds should go in. I think I'll do a tour of that now. Starting here at the head of the grotto, you can see the sandstone wall. And here the water cuts through. It's just a spring, starts just a short way up through there. But on both sides here we've got sandstone and a quite deep ravine. Sandstone along there, there's the upper rim coming down here. There's the pool. Over on this side, we've got actually an overhang here. See the sandstone. And obviously this place stays dark and moist, given the mossy vegetation and young ferns that we have on this sandstone overhang. So this is where the grotto begins, and this is where I began planting, or actually this is where I began putting in the pink ribbons so that a class of Unitarian Universalist church children of Valparaiso, Florida near here, a church that the owners here go to, will be able to plant them. So here's the first place I put in a pink ribbon. This is on the east-facing slope, mostly dark in here. So that's where I'd like the children to plant the first seed. You can see it's very close to the grotto in here. It'll get a lot of drips as well from that sandstone that springs come through. So that's the first ribbon. Second one, right there. Actually, let's go up to it a little here. Here's a second ribbon down in there. I got an upper level ribbon and then down below it. Third one is right there. It's the third pink ribbon. Fourth one is right along there. And again, here's where the little creek runs. That's the bottom. So that's 4. Here's the fifth one, straight across through there. Take a closer look. Yeah, number 5. And this is where I was standing, southern magnolia, huge tree, amazing. It has its roots right in the creek bed. I'm told that sometimes, most of the time, the creek is actually underneath. It just drips into, or it goes down into the sand and flows underneath. But this is very typical of these kinds of creek places. All right. Here you can see, here's the southern magnolia. There's the water here. Actually, it does go under here. Take a look at the roots. And the roots are hanging in there. Quite amazing. These are all the roots. And here's where it drops down, and obviously the water is flowing from underneath there and heading downstream. You can see the grotto here. You can see some more ribbons along the edge here. Now that is a west-facing area, so it would get sun. Here's some more. This is a west-facing slope. It would get sun late in the afternoon. You can see the sun has gone over now. It's beyond there, but that would be the hottest point in the day. So you really want to have the Torreys, if you can, on a south or an east-facing slope. Certainly here in Florida, to the extent that we can get a north-facing slope too. So let's go around here and continue walking. So here's another pink ribbon that I've got there. Looking uphill. Let's see, what is that? It's probably a big white oak up above, deciduous, so that's probably a big white oak trunk up there on the ravine. Here's a stairwell down and a bench. So let's head over. A total of 6 seeds on the upstream side of this bench. Here's the stairs going up. Here you can hear another spring there. And got another pink ribbon placed over here for planting Torreya. One of the nice things about putting it on steepness like here, I don't have to worry about deer munching on it. Do not have to worry about buck deer trying to scrape their antlers on it. In fact, deer would likely never come down here. It's a very dangerous place. They wouldn't be able to get out in case there's a panther here or a bear. Probably never has deer down in this ravine. There's a lot of other places for them to go for water. They don't need to go here. And you can see over here, again, this would be the kind of a northeast facing slope area here. And I've got some more pink ribbon back there. And up above it, you can see that's that sandstone, mossy, drippy area. So even though it's quite a ways above the river here, there'll be the sandstone will be dripping springs. You can see a river along there. And there's another pink ribbon there. I've got a total of 6 pink ribbons marking good places for seeds upstream and 12 down from the bench. See a couple more over in there. Again, very, very steep in here. Continues on down. You see a little side stream coming in here. And what kind of a tree do we have here? Another southern magnolia, a small one here. There's a young southern magnolia with its evergreen leaves. A beautiful lichen patch there. See, it's kind of spanning its roots down here to the creek. But this, I decided to put a ribbon here because it's one of the things I've learned from the American Chestnut Foundation is if you're out planting seeds directly without any protection, it can be nice to put them in brambles or areas of fallen branches like this, so that it's not exactly easy for anything to step on when it starts to grow, and rodents aren't necessarily, squirrels aren't likely to go in there. The owners tell me that squirrels really don't spend time down here, so shouldn't have to worry about protecting the seeds from squirrels digging them up. Southern magnolia is a prominent tree in Torreya State Park. So this will provide very, very helpful shade in the midst of a hot summer day. And the cool will gather through here. So here's a couple ribbons here. Again, you can see the sandstone to the left of it. There's the very top where the sky gets very light. And what is, oh my gosh, here's another huge tree. Let's see what it is as we go up. And another gigantic southern magnolia. Just beautiful right here. Its roots holding on. Holding on. I'm walking right in. Got my rubber boots on here. Walking right in the river. And let's see, I think I'll go up over this way here. See some more moisture here, another drippy area. Right there I've got another pink ribbon. Good place for Torrey up there. More sandstone. So from here on out, I don't have any more pink ribbons over on this west-facing side, southwest-facing side. I actually have it over on this side. And again, here's that gigantic magnolia, southern magnolia, evergreen. Keeps it nice and shady down here. All right, let's continue along. Pretty easy to walk through here, obviously. Look at the drips. Take a close-up of that. All right, over here, got a pink ribbon. Another place for Torrey to be planted. And got a pink ribbon here. This is a little flat in here. Mark it up high so people can see it, and then down low where I put in a stick, I wanted to make sure that at least 6 inches the taproot could go down before it would hit any sandstone. That is a really nice root there of certainly this magnolia holding on. So that should be a good place for Torrey to be able to hold on as well. All right, continuing on. You see the river, it's still following in a narrow course here. You can see it's starting to open up here. Starting to widen. The grotto is going to go away, or the ravine of the grotto is going to go away pretty quickly here. Notice some lovely ferns that we've got here on the ground. You won't see any of these in the upland. These really require cool. All right, let's continue walking. Get to the end of where I set out ribbons. Again, a total of 12 downstream of that bench. Oh yeah, okay, I think this is probably the last one here. There's that pink ribbon. And there you can see up to the top of the cliff wall. There's a little bit of mossy sandstone behind it. Nice ferns. Looks like a couple more southern magnolias right there. Yep, really nice evergreen. Oh, and also mountain laurel here too. You can see these kind of twiny looking. Here we have something. I've noticed a couple of these. They all take off underneath a log. This is definitely not the saw palmetto because it's got the groove in here, and also there's no saws along the side. So that looks to me like it could be a cabbage palm. Not real familiar with this. All right, let's continue on and just see how this ravine opens up, and we really lose ground for planting any Torrey in a place where it would be shaded and cool. See, it's just really opening up here. Very much so. Wow, that's a huge loblolly pine there, right in the center of the picture there. Let me go in on the bark a little. You see that? You're not going to find Torreys with the pine. So that one was actually able to get started down here and soared up. Huge loblolly. And there you see how it just opens up down there. And the water itself, still a single course, but it really gets flat in here. Very easy walking these spider webs. Huh, I wonder what this is. Wow. Okay, so here you can see another spring area here. There's the water course. And how flat, swampy that is. But it's lost the ravine. No more Torreys down there. So all 18 Torreys are from here on up in Grotto Ravine. Panhandle of Florida could be the last stand of Torreya taxifolia. I'm actually looking forward to the kids planting the seeds and just leaving them alone, monitoring after that. You know, no coddling, no fencing, none of that kind of stuff. I mean, come on. Torrey doesn't need to be in hospice if we can find a place like this. So let's hope. Torrey's last stand. So the day after I set the ribbons for planting Torreya taxifolia up by the grotto in that steep ravine there, Michael and I followed the path downstream, looking upstream here, to Shoal River. So we spin around here and continue to head downstream. This little creek that came from the grotto. Now coming down to Shoal River. It just drops off right there into the river. Wow. So it's just looking across Shoal River. What are you pointing to, Michael?
Raccoon paws.
Oh, raccoon paws. Yeah, look at them. Good Place to be a raccoon. Yes, Procyon. The other ones with the dexterity of the digits perhaps become the next technological intelligence when our intelligence has finally done us in. So here again is Shoal River. This is looking upstream, and here is looking downstream. Here's a place to see what kinds of deciduous oaks are above this ravine here. Some sort of white oak. And I also noticed over in here, there it is, sweet gum, liquid amber, deciduous. So this place would be very, very dark in the summertime. Right now it's the southern magnolias that are giving it any shade at all. Boy, those look to me like the meadowphyte stage of fern right there. Ferns have two stages, sporophyte and gametophyte. Let's see if we can see some more. And here, gametophyte stages. The lightest colored green with the little delicate rounded leaves on there would be the tiny gametophyte stage that after the sperm swims to eggs somewhere in that moist area will turn into a giant fern, which will then be the kind we always see, and that give rise to those little spore packages on the underside of their leaves, those golden brown, and then release spores into the atmosphere that will then become these, have to find a moist place and exchange gametes. Over here on this wall, this drippy wall area, is the densest concentration of some kind of liverwort. Pretty amazing. Here's an interesting little fern growing right alongside the grotto pool itself. Here's another delicate little fern right down by the water. Here's a close-up of the fern to help with identification. This looks like wild ginger to me, growing here with a heck of a lot of gametophytes of ferns. Very, very drippy wall here. Here's some beautiful orange bark of an old twisted mountain laurel. There it is, reaching over the top of the creek. Mountain laurel. Here's another view of the grotto itself. From here, I have a good view of looking upstream. And it's just a very narrow notch up there. Certainly nothing, not a high wall above it, nowhere for planting Torreya up there, but a great way to have cool air coursing down into this area for planting toys. Here's a layer of shells. I can't tell whether they eroded out and were redeposited. Let's take a closer look here. Here's the creek right down here. But you can see it's possible they could have eroded out of somewhere else. I'm just not enough of a geologist to be able to interpret that, but I think the archaeologists were studying the shells for some reason. This tree has been around a lot longer than pine trees, oak trees, any other tree except ginkgo trees. This has been around. So this tree would go extinct during your lifetime if you don't help it. Now, who's willing to help this tree stay alive? Okay?
Hooray.
Okay? I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be north, but I'm going to leave these seeds with Chris, and she's going to help you all learn about it and plant it in the sacred ravine, the cool place, the last place in Florida where this tree can probably live.